impact. Like, I mentioned that I didn't like the scene with Ron, and I think that's what we should talk about next. Because I think that the whole Ron in this scene is problematic. Because yes, it would have been shocking if it was brothers. It would have been, it would have been heartbreaking that he's done that. It wouldn't have made sense.
Exactly. I think that, either use him or don't show him at all. Don't bring him in just to say, oh yeah, that's Ron dealt with now. Leave this sort of shadow of, oh my god, she sent an assassin to kill the Lannister twins, the Lannister brothers. Where is he for at least the next episode? And then, he pops up at the end and goes, sorry, a bag of gold's a bag of gold. And fucking, he's not Australian, but I'm doing an Australian accent. And pins Tyrion with a crossbow, just like that Tyrion did his dad. So, stuff like that, they can't really do because they do need these characters. That they want to write them off well. Possibly, they're saving them all because Daenerys will just win. Like the Golden Company is now run by Daenerys Harris, and they'll turn on like Cersei and win, and it will be like an easy win for her. It won't be easy, but there'll be like a big twist, sort of with one of the armies or something, or Yara will come sailing and say, Ironborn, this isn't your true king. Look at him.
Yes.
He wears eyeliner.
Slaves from the Free City.
Yeah, you were saying that before, and a slave army. That'd be cool, but I don't think they...
Cool, it would be, but we haven't seen them in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
I think that makes complete sense, and I think that if Tyrion was somehow the one to get contact with him, or get contact with really anyone, it'd prove his worth as an advisor in general, as this person that actually does still mean something. Because I have had this conversation with you in the past that the show does not like Tyrion. Not as much as the books do. Anyway, as you said, not as much as the books do, because it treats him like a genuine idiot. Like, they say it in the first episode of this season that Sansa says, used to be the smartest man that I ever knew.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that echoes the whole sentiment of the fan base, really.
It's so true.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
It's a big shame because he is, he was going to be the one that wins it for Daenerys because she has this little insight into the Lannisters' mindset. She now knows how Cersei thinks, but because she met up with Sansa, and Sansa is sort of in control of one half of her army, basically. Yes. It's Jon, but Tyrion's obsolete.
She's pulling the strings,
There's no need for him to turn up and go, oh yes, my sister's going to do exactly that. And I thought, oh my god, he is full on going to save the day. They're finally using Tyrion when he walked up for that discussion of the hands. And then he walked straight past Qyburn, and I was like, yes, this is the Tyrion we need. And I kind of like, actually, how, Cersei was like, nah, I'm a monster. I'm not going to, your words can't change this, You poisoned my son. Or she now knows that it wasn't him, but, you were suspected to have poisoned my son. You killed my father. You killed my mother when you were born. I've hated you all my life. She isn't suddenly going to turn, but maybe that would have been a nice little, Tyrion still does have some power and sway in this world.
Over
Cersei, at least.
In a personal sense rather than a political sense.
Think about the baby. I thought that line would get her. Now I think about it, actually, your whole thing that, maybe she isn't pregnant, it does make a lot more sense because
she didn't necessarily bat an eye.
Yeah, didn't listen at all. She did sort of look away. She took a moment mulling it over.
Yes.
But, yeah.
She should, for sure, showed concern. I think it is a problem that is it a problem that it's left ambiguous whether she is pregnant or not? So say we are to assume that Cersei is pregnant.
Yeah.
It is. There's a lot of ways you can go down that. Will she soften to Jaime if she has a child and they'll want to try again like they did with Joffrey? Obviously, Joffrey, they got it wrong. Marcella and Tommen, they got it right. They were two genuinely wholesome, lovely children corrupted by other people. Well, not necessarily corrupted. I mean, Marcella
just killed by other people, apart from Tom, and Tom was killed by her. But no, should we go into a little theory segment?
Let's go down the theory rabbit hole.
Okay, so I believe in a thing called love. I believe strongly that she is pregnant. She'll say, Jaime will come to kill her and be like, this is the only way. She won't have any guards around her for some reason. Maybe Jamie will kill Euron. I'd love that. That'll wipe the smile off his smug face. I really dislike Euron. I'm sorry. Anyway, he'll do something like that.
Because he's not Ramsay to you.
No, he's just not the villain I needed for this season. They should have just focused entirely on Cersei. The whole
rather than her eyeliner kind of daddy.
Ending of season 7. When she walks up with the music from the Light of the Seven, I think the song's called the Light of the Seven, the soundtrack to the whole holy set being blown up. That whole segment.
The little
bloody Ramendor, I love him. But as she walks through the throne room, sits on the iron chair, and the Iron Throne is like, the iron chair. I'm sorry, I'm Khal Drogo. That's what he said. He called it an iron chair, I think. I was thinking about it earlier, that's why I said it. But that was brilliant. That sort of like dark, I'm the twisted Cersei Queen now. Jaime steps in, looks at her, she sees him, and he's like, oh no, I've lost her. That should have been the start of this whole, obviously it led up to the moment where he walked away and she didn't kill him because, they're siblings. But he should get in there, have a redeeming moment where he kills Euron because Euron's a knife wielder and he probably is a brilliant sword fighter actually in this show because he's apparently brilliant at everything, including.
He's good with an axe.
He's good with an axe and a ballista.
Yes, it's a scorpion.
A scorpion ballista.
It is strange. He hasn't had any groundwork somewhat laid for him. As is he a good fighter? Is he not?
We keep shooting on Euron, but he is in the books. He's a brilliant character. I'm just rereading them again, and I've just got to the part where he shows up again, and the Ironborn. The focus on the Ironborn is, I believe, most of the chapters, or at least one of the chapters, is from the damp hair, the priest, like the drowned god's priest in the show. It's from his point of view, and it's about sort of the politics of the Iron Islands and who's going to be king. Is it going to be Victarion, who's like the favorite brother? Is it going to be Euron, or is it going to be these couple of others? And it's a really brilliant show. Euron's bloody evil in that, and he sort of shows up at the moot and does all sorts of connivery magic. And in this one, he's just this OG, like he hasn't lost yet. He hasn't lost a single, so he's not real.
He hasn't, and I'm not gonna.
He's not a real Game of Thrones villain or character. He just feels like I was saying before, like a lazy writing trick.
Two-dimensional. Not even one-dimensional.
One-dimensional.
He has evil eyeliner and a grimacing smile.
Yeah.
That is the extent of that man's character. Also, he's funny. I'm not going to deny that he isn't funny.
Oh, the whole
that's not his job.
Does she like a finger up the bum line was one of my favourites. Yeah.
Well, I didn't look at Joffrey and I was like, you know what you need, mate? You need some comedy in there. Ramsay was funny because he's twisted.
Yeah.
It's the different, the whole him waving a sausage around.
Exactly, and he had such a personal relationship with characters that I loved, like Theon and Sansa. He turned Theon into a character I loved even, but Theon, Sansa, the Battle of the Bastards between him and Jon, he was so intensely connected to them, and because he's only intensely connected to Cersei, someone who I don't care for at all. By the way, I'm just gonna say this: I know people who are on Cersei's team and want her to win this. What the hell? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, but yeah, I just think it's a bit mad. But we're talking about theories. Let's stay on track because we need to make sure we don't just waffle on about everything like we've been doing. So the theories, I think Jaime will charge in, possibly kill Euron, possibly almost being killed by Euron, or he's about to kill Cersei and she goes, "Think about the child, Jaime," and he's like, "Oh shit," and then she kills him. I think that
the mountain kills him, or she kills him?
She full on kills him, like strangling, eyes gouge, something.
Yes.
Not maybe the strangler, but I meant like an actual strangling because he is a one-armed cripple, and she is. Look at that armor. Look at those shoulder. What's it called? The armor that goes on your shoulders. Not. It's just shoulder plates. But the picture. The costume design for this season has been brilliant, but
it has.
Yeah. Okay.
It really has. So with that, I think there is a better way to go about that. I think when you talk about kind of characters' deaths, EURON doesn't pop into my head, and I'm going to stop shooting on EURON so much. But
he doesn't
put. They're called Spolders, by the way. Anyway.
Spolders, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I don't look at someone that's like, oh, I can't wait to see how he goes. I don't care how he goes. I'm more interested within Cersei. Now, someone that I work with came up with this theory, and I think it is absolutely magnificent. So he meets, Jaime meets Cersei to talk it out one more time before Dany tortures the entire city.
Mm-hmm.
She kisses him, and they're like, okay, that's it's quite a sad moment, and they have to go their ways. And when she turns her back, Jaime stabs her, and Jaime kills her. And when Jaime kills her, she obviously just it. But no one else knows that really. So Dany tortures the city anyway. Jaime is squaring up to fight maybe Euron. I think that'd be cool, like a bit of a face-off between two men that like in a finger in the bum. A bit of a square off like that. And what happens is he falls to his, or he sees a drop of blood come out of his nose.
Yeah, like the sand snake poison.
She's given him a long farewell, and he drops dead in the battle.
Now, I love that. I love that theory. You said that before, and I remember loving it. However, I think the show will end with King's Landing burning and those two killing each other. So I don't think there'll be a fight after that. I think it'll be more along the lines of she poisons him on the spot.
Yes.
Like, maybe not wine. I think, if he's killed by a glass of wine at this stage, that's bad. It'll be, I like the idea of the long farewell, or, something like she pushes him out of a window, just like he pushes someone out the window for her. I really don't know. But I do like the idea that these two kill each other, and it's something I've said for a while now. I think the show will nail whatever happens to them. I have faith in Wace and Benioff.
If they've written Jaime's this well for so long, it would be hard to mess it up.
All right.
So, Tyrion and Varys. As I mentioned, as we mentioned kind of in the recap right at the start, you said specifically it didn't look too promising.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Varys seems to have sealed his fate here. He looks like someone who is either not going to scheme against her, maybe about to scheme against Daenerys. But what Varys really, I think that Varys is duped is that Varys is a product of a show with a different genre.
Yeah.
The kind of political, obviously he's been in it since season 1. Varys is a political schemer. The show now is, and I think what really solidified that was season 7, especially Beyond the Wall. Like an ice dragon, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Full on a fantasy. It's not a medieval political drama anymore. And I think that people like Tyrion and Varys in this scene, it's a conversation between two people that are futile in this kind of situation.
Exactly. Now it's a full-scale battle. There's no politicking going on, or there is, but it's on a sort of grander scale. There's sort of no point for them. That's why, I agree. I feel sad that Tyrion is now sort of this useless fella. He has been since most of season 7, when he failed to sort of judge what the Lannisters were going to do, and they're like a remnant of the show, definitely. There, like a little.
And it's something that I think this new kind of fantasy side of Game of Thrones really it's more a rebirth of Game of Thrones. It's now fantasy and it's not as political. Of course, you had the great battles of Blackwater, for example.
Yeah.
All rooted in politics, though. Not all rooted in, I don't like you, now I'm gonna torch your whole army and you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so really that's it for Tyrion. I think that Varys at the end of the season, or maybe at the end of the next episode.
Yeah, the whole traitor sort of exit, like he walked off saying, I want to do what's best for the realm. I like Varys because he's honest, or at least he is honest now. Now he's no longer the spider. I think He's like a friendly neighborhood spider. But he the whole I'm gonna go crown Jon because Jon has more of a chance. Oh yeah. But I really believe that Dany is going to, take her fury out on one of her advisors, one of her allies, be it Jon. I think eventually they are going to clash, obviously, but be it Jon, Varys, or Tyrion. I think it will be a sign that she truly is the Mad Queen. I actually like that. I think that's probably the way they're going, because she can't suddenly.
It's poetic. It's certainly poetic.
But because there was a line, was it a line in the books that I've just been reading, or was it a line in the show? But they said every single time a Targaryen is born, a coin is flipped, and one side of the coin is insanity, and on the other side is greatness.
Yes.
I think it's from the books, but it is. I love that, and I love the idea that she basically has been this sort of like everyone's vowed for her. She was probably the greatest character with the scene where she burns the Astaporians. I don't know if that's the plural for people who live in Astapor, but when she burns them to free the Unsullied, and she says slay the masters, that was like, oh shit, she don't mess about.
She's cool, yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of her coming out.
That was her coming out. That was her coming out. But is that also like that the pre-indicator that she's going to be the Mad Queen, and that is fully just where she's going with the rest of the season? I don't know, because they can't reverse it now. They can't go, oh no, she was just a bit angry before. She's actually a really, really nice ruler, because she's gonna be just as harsh and scarred by the war and by everyone she's lost when she's sat in the Iron Throne as she is now. So
I personally don't want to, but we'll probably do a separate podcast explaining the people that we want to win and how, as I said, how when, like I said earlier.
Well, we'll do that at the end of this. We'll do a little. Who do you think's going to win? And then we'll change after each episode. Who do you think's going to win?
Yes.
Do you still think this person? Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. Just quickly, Arya and the Hound.
Yeah.
You happy to see them together again?
So happy. They're my favourite power duo. I think they're obviously some great power duos, but as like a good mix of comedy and like heartfelt dialogue. From the previous seasons when they were together, and just also badassery, because she's a water dancer, and he is one of the biggest men in the Seven Kingdoms, I'm pretty sure, even though
he's definitely the best fighter
he doesn't look that much bigger than her. I don't know, but the Cleganes have to meet, and
will happen.
The Mountain is still on her list. Will she save him? That's a question on my mind. Will it be that the case of, because he said, are you going to leave me down by the side of the road again? Or something like that. And she said, probably. And he laughed. It's like the first time we saw him laugh in 3 seasons. But I love those two. They're my favourite duo, and I think only good things can come out of it. The show's done a really good job getting them back together, definitely.
Yes. Obviously they've both come on. Not really, they've both come on. I think they both have come a long way, to be fair. Arya especially has come an extremely long way. And I think the Hound is proud of the person that she is.
Oh, yeah.
Now, he has proven her wrong that water dancing is a method of fighting. And I don't think, obviously it's Sandor Clegane, I don't think he's going to be, sad about anything he said. But it's, I feel like them two stories they're gonna end together, hopefully. And lastly, Miss Andy.
How did you feel about her death? Because I'm not invested in her at all. Because I'm on Team Jon out of Team Jon and Dany, and she's on Team Dany. I don't know. She just feels like a bit of like she's just useless. Very similar to Tyrion. Now she's no longer just like the translator. Or the like the voice of the people, because she was the voice of the slaves for Dany. She was sort of telling her, like, you may think you're this liberator, but I've been a slave. Let me tell you, liberation isn't always the best thing. This is why the slaves want to go back to, and the Sons of the Harpies are kicking out. She is sort of useless. The Grey Worm, love sort of that romance between her and Grey Worm. I really like that. I loved Grey Worm is one of my favourite characters, and
Grey Worm's great. Grey Worm is genuinely great. What I do like about them two together especially, is that it's genuinely, this show doesn't have a lot of romance in it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have...
Well, I mean, if you look at this episode...
Where you could say that is honestly the nicest thing that you could have said to her, or the most heartfelt thing. But Grey Worm in the last season saying, Missandei, you are my weakness, is one of the most romantic things possibly.
Oh my god, yeah.
That this show has ever churned out. And it's a shame to see it go, but again, as I said, I think this notion of futility of Varys, Tyrion, Littlefinger was one at the end of last season at Missandei. It's symptomatic of that show's genre change.
Exactly.
Of it not being, faction warfare, politicking, more towards the fantasy battle element of
fantasy with a few romances mixed in. Yeah, Lord of the Rings. You're right. It's just the show has changed in a way. I sort of like it. I sort of don't. It is a lot more magical, like the books. But the whole what really grabbed me about Game of Thrones was you saw the White Walkers in the very first episode. It's like this 10-minute sequence, which is amazing, brilliant cinematography and brilliant sort of acting from the terrified Rangers, and the blurs you saw that were the White Walkers and the beheading, all excellent. And then you never saw the White Walkers again for 3 seasons.
Yeah,
that was perfect. And because we've now defeated the White Walkers, who were the main threat, everything else feels like a little bit, at least Westeros is safe. People aren't going to die. I reckon they should have done it the other way around. It should have been deal with Cersei and then
the Whites.
But it doesn't make sense, and that's different from George R.R. Martin's. I know for a fact that that's not where he's going with his books. He's going
to go differently. Obviously, he's going to go differently. But really, so Missandei is kind of summary of the deaths. Let's tell you what. Let's recap the deaths in this. Or deaths and let's say dismissals of characters in this.
So
in this episode, so you've got Tormund going, you've got Ghost going, which we haven't even spoken about. But I think it's disgraceful he didn't say goodbye. I don't think there's anything that anyone can really argue that.
There's no love between these two characters in the show. In the book, though, it's like man and warg, that they are the same. Jon and Ghost are like the same being. So if they do something like that in the books, which I know he won't, it will be absolutely mad. So I expected it to be like that, because they don't have time for him to go over and sit down and go, oh gosh, you've been my good dog. He hasn't been a good dog. He's sort of just been hanging about alongside him occasionally, costing the show a fortune on CGI and wolf units.
Well, I think that's why they didn't want to animate, quite honest. And to their credit, say that is that they don't think it would look good enough.
Yeah.
They don't think they could animate it and do justice, and I appreciate that personally as a fan massively, that they want to give you, obviously the best you can, but this is a character moment for Jon.
Yeah.
It doesn't even really matter, it's about Ghost. It's symbolic of Jon leaving his life as a Stark of this puppy that he's had since,
Yeah.
Is it episode 1?
Yeah, I think it is. It must be, because Sean Bean leaves Winterfell.
Sean Bean.
Oh no, he doesn't. He leaves in episode 2, but no, I think they do fight in episode 1, because they're coming back from the beheading after beheading the deserter.
So to me, him not saying that it could have symbolised his transferal from bastard son of Ned Stark to Aegon Targaryen. He's not a Stark anymore, or he's not part of the Stark family. He's his own commodity somewhat. He's his own, his own power.
Well, he's alone. He's completely alone, because he and Dany are at odds with each other. Yeah, that's more accurate. He literally has no one. Like, he still called them his family. Sansa and Arya and Bran, and they have grown up together. Much like Theon was still family to Sansa by the end of that show, by the end of his bloody character arc, his character lifespan. Oh, Theon, I miss Theon. I thought
we have spoken about Theon.
He was just starting to get braver.
Yes. Again, just to wrap up the dismissals or whatever, so we've said Tom and Ghost.
Sam.
Rhaegal. Sam, yeah. There's obviously theories going around that Sam's the one that's writing the book, and it's going to be a bit of a Frodo at the end of the world.
And they all lived sort of happily ever after.
Yeah. I would hate that. About that in like an alternate ending podcast, I assume. So we've got Sam, as you said, then Rhaegal, which we haven't even touched on, because why should we? The show hardly touched on it.
No, it was a quick death, a quick splash, a random dragon charge towards the boats, and then even after they'd fired and missed her, she didn't come back in for another attack. Whilst
it's a pissing dragon. It's a dragon, and it's just been glossed over. She didn't mourn this child of hers as much as she did Viserion, which I don't think she should. She mourned Viserion a massive, but it didn't feel like she lost much because she still got Drogon, who is almost as powerful as Valyrian the Dread, which is
he is
important.
like Valyrian come again. Yeah, he's this big black dragon. It's terrifying. Also, dismissal wise, we lost Brienne. I guess that's it for Brienne. She might come charging after him.
She'll go after.
But if everyone at Winterfell obviously is going to be in it again, I think it's really they have cut ties.
Dropped, is it?
No. But I reckon she'll be leading the Vale troops again, and she's going to die.
Okay, yeah.
If we're talking about theories, I think we're going to lose Sansa, but not Jon. I reckon Jon will end up on the Iron Throne because he doesn't want it. He really doesn't want it.
And that's the bittersweet, is that the kingdom's in a good rule by a ruler that doesn't want.
I possibly, yeah. That's. I honestly don't know.
Makes sense. At that point.
Like I've said it before. I do have faith in Benioff and Weiss. I think they've done a good job so far. The show writers are, because they wrote a lot of it, and they also have writers alongside, I believe. But I had some serious questions about the episode when we were watching it. Now thinking about it though, I think it's going to be. This is another setup, much like the first episode was a setup for the whole battle. This has been another setup for what's to come. It's just not so clear what's to come. I think that's why I'm a bit like, oh well, come on, you could have, at least say goodbye to.
It's only when you look at the next episode where you really realise this is gonna kick off now, because it is Miguel Sherpotsnik. It's Miguel.
Let's keep saying his name, and we might summon him. Miguel Sapochnik. Okay, well, my man Miguel, he's gonna nail, because he's only doing the first one. I don't know who's directing the last one. Maybe Jeremy, but whatever happens in the next one is gonna be a good episode.
So he did Hard Home.
Yeah.
He did Battle of the Bastards.
Of course.
He did The Long Night, obviously that's just been,
and
he did Winds of Winter as well. The whole wildfire explosion.
Yeah.
So that man knows what he's doing when it comes to spectacle. So we're not going to be let down. I'm pretty confident.
We are not. He's done all the big hitters, apart from the Red Wedding, basically.
One of my favourite episodes, I'd say.
Yeah, they're the most memorable ones. But that's why I think the rest of the show, because they're having these like semi-epic battles between this fleet of Scorpion ships and a dragon, and the other ships get splintered instantly. It might make these other more like these huge scale fights between Unsullied, the rest of the Unsullied, the 3 Dothraki that are left, and everyone else. It might make it seem just a little bit like, oh, what's the point? We've seen battles like this. It's just a little bit bigger. They should keep.
I think it's the gravity of the deaths, because if you're gonna kill anyone now, is the time, HBO. If you're gonna pull the plug on characters, do it. And I personally think Clegane Bowl next episode. Yeah. I think Clegane Bowl next episode, Mountain's dead, Sandor's probably dead as well. I don't know. I'd like the narrative, because I like the idea of them subverting expectations to that extent. But yeah, we can obviously talk about that anyway. So as a whole, how did you feel about the episode? Like thumbs up, thumbs down?
It was thumbs down to begin with, but I've mulled it over, and it's returned to a thumbs up just because it is Game of Thrones. I've invested so much time. I did enjoy it. It had moments that I thought, come on, what are you doing with your writing, people? It had moments that I thought, oh, that was really sweet. It had moments that I thought, fucking EURON, I hate him. But
this is just going to turn into a podcast where we rip on each other.
This first one is going to be titled, What the Hell is the Point of EURON? I Hate Him. That is the official title, can confirm. 2019.
For the podcast, I'd really...
Yeah. Okay. I have to remember what I said because I've already forgotten something along the lines of I hate EURON. But yeah. No, I really like the show. The show it's my favourite show. Nothing will ever compare to this. There are like 4 or 5 remakes already being looked at, with some of the old cast as well. A lot of it's going to be set previously.
So the things that we're looking at for the prequel got The Long Night, which is the one I'm pretty sure has been confirmed. Don't hold me to that because I might be being a bit stupid there. So there's The Long Night, obviously Conquest, Robert's Rebellion. There are just so many different things that they could go down and paths that they could go down.
Yeah.
Maybe even a side story of whilst everything's happening over in Westeros, what's happening in Essos.
That would be cool, That would be really cool.
Maybe as a main character, or
they could take the show to so many places. That's why
really
Game of Thrones is brilliant. Yeah, just because they have it's such a deep and thick lore, as you'd say. They have just endless stories to go into, and that's why Martin is amazing as a writer.
Things like not Avengers necessarily, not Marvel, but you look at things like Star Wars, which has a hefty lore behind it.
It does.
As Lord of the Rings, but nothing is as meticulous, in my opinion, as Game of Thrones. It doesn't go through a Song of Ice and Fire. It doesn't necessarily delve into as much detail as it was, as all them other ones, really.
Okay.
But yeah, so for me, it's still thumbs down.
Thumbs down, still okay.
Given a big thing for me was Bronn. Bronn's my favourite character. I'm not going to shy away from that. I loved him. And I felt like it kind of sent away all that character development that happened in the Elite Train match. He vaulted on the floor. He decides to run off, goes for the Scorpion instead. To me, that's his character changing moment. And I know he just mentioned to Jamie, as long as you're alive, I'll still get my castle. I understand that, but I feel like he was past that point.
Yeah.
So,
I agree what you mean. The dismissals really made it. That is why it isn't a brilliant episode, just because it was so fast paced. It was like, bye Rhaegar, bye Bronn, bye Tormund, bye Ghost, bye you. But they had to get some characters out of the way, because what I've been saying, it's too crowded.
Yes.
People are getting these scenes because you can only get glimpses of them. They need to just say the same thing over and over again in these little glimpses, so you can really understand what it is they're going for in this final season, what they're going through in this final season. So I do sort of like they've said goodbye to people, but it was way too fast. It was very sad. I still like the episode.
Structured, much like this podcast.
Oh yes, we've gone hippity hoppity hop. Just to wrap it up, wow. Who do you think is going to end up on the Iron Throne, Jack?
At the end of this episode.
At the end of the season, but from this point, with the information you have at this point, tell me, who do you think?
John. As who I think is now at a 1+. John.
Who do you want?
Bronn? No, I'm joking.
Bronn for the Iron Throne, 2019.
And maybe Tyrion and Sansa. For such a long amount of time, Tyrion was the best thing in this whole series.
Oh, entirely,
Season 4, season 2, season 3, season 4 is Tyrion's show. Like,
it was.
I think obviously, as you mentioned, kind of the structure of it. It flicks to Essos, it flicks to King's Landing, it flicks to Winterfell. It might go to the Reach, or it might go to I don't know, the Twins. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that through that point of view, Tyrion was always the most compelling, and I'd like to see him back on that.
That is true. This is why you should read the books, because Tyrion is also the most compelling in the books. He's the smartest character, and just his thought train even listening to it is just it's good writing. It's really good writing.
Yeah.
No, what a show. I think it will also be John, like I said before, but I do actually also want it to be John because John is Kit Harington is my heartthrob, but
John is your boy.
John is the ultimate. Oh, sorry, I should call him Egg, right? Egg. Egg for Throne 2019 confirmed. Oh,
make it happen.
All right. Well, I think we should wrap it up there.
Yes. That seems like a good point to wrap it up.
Should we do a little? Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Thank you. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Subscribe, and we will be back probably in a week's time from now. I don't know when this is going up, but a week from then, there will be a new podcast on the platform this will be posted on, which I do not know yet. And you can tune into that. And thank you for listening. If you did listen to all of this, if you listened to our rambling, it's very kind of you. And my name is Joe. My colleague is a numbskull. My colleague is a numbskull.
I've been Jack. That's been Joe. And I've had a great amount of fun, and I really look forward to next episode.
Me
Miguel
too.
Won't let us down.
He won't let us down. All right. Well, good night, sweet princes.
Good night, sweet princes. That's going to be our sign.